How you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. So how are you?
I'm pretty good. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your fighting career? When did you start?
Well, in 2001, I had my first cage fight. It was, obviously in Iowa at that time. It was all insane. So there's a lot of things that were not put into regulation that are now in regulation today, such as blood work and things of that nature. I didn't win. I fought a guy named Brandon Purcell. Dude had tree trunks for legs. I mean, and I was in a bad. But I knew then that this was going to be a part of my life for a long time. It wasn't until 2006 I finally started taking it a little bit more serious. I only had like 5 amateur fights before I decided to go pro. My first fight, Mateo Young, put him away pretty quickly. But my second fight was against John Halverson. Obviously, John's been to the UFC, and it was at 155. Definitely a fight that they didn't think that I was going to win, and I didn't. But what I did do is perform well, and performing well against that opponent definitely didn't make my road any easier. It made it very difficult to get more just them little easy fights that a guy wants to have every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
You
yeah.
get John Halverson on your record, whether it's a win or a loss. I mean, if I got put away in the first round, he had me in a rear naked choke in the first round. If I got put away in the first round like that by John Halverson, then I probably wouldn't have had so much trouble getting fights moving forward. But I didn't. I pushed him to the brink, and then he caught me in a triangle with 7 seconds to go. I went to sleep on his ribs, like
Damn.
yeah. So it was a good fight, man. But that was one of those things that let me know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And there's been many times throughout my fight career that I just got off track. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get back on track. There's some things. There's always things we could do differently and should do differently, but we're 10 days out, baby. What's done is done.
Oh
On
yeah.
it's going down, right?
Oh yeah. You're
So
fighting for a title, right?
yes, and that's
Oh shit.
yeah. See, that's what being in this game for and fighting the caliber of opponents that I have fought. That's what gets me these opportunities late in my career. You know what I'm saying? And it's all upside for me. Win or lose, it don't matter. I'm being 24. I got a losing record, but I got them names. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. How old are you?
I just turned 44 in December.
Wow. So you're
Yeah.
about done with this thing. Are you gonna go till the brakes fall off?
Listen, I fought with Dan Severin on a card over in Belfast, Ireland. He was the main event at 52 years old. Randy
Wow.
Couture did this till 40, almost 50. I get it, man. Our body's got limited time. When I'm done, I'm done. Right now, I'm not done.
How many places have you traveled? Where have you been?
Let's see. Well, I've had 3 belts in 3 different states. I had a Minnesota tourney belt that was for what's the name? I forget I forget the promoter's name up there, but I fought at the Myth. It was a tournament. I fought Brandon Strain in the finals. That was my first belt. But I don't even that was Minnesota was kind of in their figuring out period as far as getting it regular. So they were only 3 minute rounds, but I got paid, so it was considered a pro fight.
Mm.
So that was my belt. My second belt was for Masters of the Cage with the promoter Michael Gill. That was I don't remember the year. But after that fight is what got me my fight opportunity over in Ireland. Fought Peter Duncan, and just a good fight, 3 round battle. Went to the cards, I lost. You can't win a hometown decision, let alone somebody's home country decision. You got to put them
Oh
away.
yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't finish him. So the third belt I won was for MCC. It was a tournament belt as well. Two fights one night, and I end up avenging one of my losses against Will Judd, tough ass dude. He put me away twice. Caught me with an arm bar and some Uma Plata. Caught me with some crazy stuff the second time, and so I really wanted to get him back. I was able to avenge that loss in the final for the MCC belt. Um, I get off track, man. I don't stay focused long enough. And right now, I'm figuring out that training and fighting, it helps keep other things in balance, and at the same time, it keeps a lot of things out of balance. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
it's a fine line.
It makes sense though. You've been doing this for how long? When you 2001? How old were
2000,
you when you started?
yeah, with 2001, I'd been 20.
You 20 years of this shit. I'd go off track too a few times. It's a fucking long time.
Yeah. Well, and then there's all the things that come along with start gaining a name for yourself in your local community. That's
It's a
it's kind
distraction.
of, and it's overwhelming.
Hmm.
I've always been a people person, so when I run into people and I get punched in the head, so I remember you by name. So
No, I get that. And plus, if you meet so many people, you can only keep so many in your head at once.
absolutely, yeah. I tell people my RAM memory. If I need to remember this, like absolutely need, I usually do. But if it's something that ain't that important, sorry, I might forget it.
That's how my brain works too, bro. I don't even try to remember yesterday or nothing like that because I'm like I probably won't, and it's not even. There's no. You're just gonna put in more effort trying to remember than remembering. So,
Wasting time, wasting time, and that's one thing I know that I do a little bit of. I think we all do, but me personally, I waste time on things I don't need to, and I'm trying to get better at not doing that, and it's tough for me.
I think that's just our whole culture. I mean, like you were saying, you keep your notifications off. A lot of people are sitting around scrolling all day long. Especially people in my age, they're fucking wasting time. They don't know what the hell they're doing. What have you been training mostly then? You training jitsu
Uh,
or?
I've been really working on my stand up and just
Mhm.
just being able to be in that moment while I'm on my feet. Being able to just programming that muscle memory to do what needs to be done in that type of situation. My training has changed tremendously from when I was younger. When I was younger, you go hard, you go hard, go hard, you go hard, and at my age, you can't go hard like that all the time. You got to save something for that day, and it's in my mind, it can be detrimental rather than beneficial.
Mhm.
Even at a young age, I think looking back, I look at how I used to train, and I'm like, man, I probably shouldn't have been doing that. Going hard in the gym, sparring unnecessarily.
Mhm.
I, I re- I don't know what age I was when I said, you know what, maybe I don't take these shots while I'm training. I mean, I happen in this situation. Just work on the situational thing. I mean, just work on what's going to happen in this situation. Go hard in that situation, but don't take them shots. I don't need to take shots necessarily. I got only a few shots left, right?
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna ask you. You think most of your headshots were in training, or do you think it was in the ring or the cage itself?
um, Honestly, probably in the streets, getting into knucklehead stuff. Just straight up, man. Like being a dumbass, and I remember a time it was me and my buddy Keith Clark. He was like, man, I'm about to get into it with these dudes, and I'm like, dude, don't go down there by yourself. He's like, I'm going. I'm like, I showed up. It ended up being more than us on, yeah, a lot of them on two, and he woke up in the back of the ambulance. I was there in the back of the ambulance. He was peeing blood, and I'm just coming.
Damn.
Yeah, I got cracked in the back of my head with something. I don't know what. My
Holy
buddy
shit.
fights was like, "Hey, you need to get out of here." And I was drunk, so I was just like, "All right." And I started jaunting, galloping down the street, not running. I should have been running at this point, but the crack head was something. It was yeah. I woke up in the back of the ambulance, so that's where I have taken some shots in the cage. The night of the Halverson fight, I had after that fight, he gave me a concussion that night. Yeah, I mean he had my back mounted the first round, and you could see just got keyed off left, right. Rocked me. He thought he put me away. I really feel like he thought he put me away because he got me in that rear naked choke. I got my chin down, and I had hands on there, and it was close to the end of the round. So he was wheezing, and I was breathing. He didn't know I was breathing.
Wow.
But even Pat Miletich, he was like, everybody thought that he had choked me out and that I was done. and that's why I popped my head up right away. I popped my head right up. No, I'm not choked out. He did have a choke in, but I wasn't out. I wanted, because I knew what I went up against. I knew I needed to. I know I needed to perform and do well, and I did that. Didn't get the W, but I think when he thought he had the choke, he wasted a lot of his gas tank, and the psychological stuff that goes on. You think you got, because he thought I got choked out, and then you hear Pat Miletich say, "We're going to a second round." I thought the choke was tight. Yeah, everybody did, even John.
See, I didn't even consider it until you said it, but you said you're working on being in the present moment. That's probably huge in fighting. You probably, because once you get it ingrained into yourself, all you have to do is be there and be in the moment.
Yes, listen, you can do every physical thing that will make your body the tool it needs to be on that day. But if you're not there, right? If you're not there,
Thinking about what you're gonna eat for dinner or all this other
dude,
shit, you're gonna get your shit rocked.
listen, and you can even have it all together, and now you're standing in the cage. Now the door shuts. Now it's real. And if you're strong mentally at that point, you can get fucked right there. So I
There's
mean,
no backing out at that point.
maybe just a beat down. You might make it through the beat down. And,
Tap quick.
so I've done everything I can. Not everything I can. I've done everything that I've done, and I'm ready right here and right here. Physically, I'm in great shape. It's all over but the crying. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
smiling. No matter what, I'm gonna probably be crying. If I win, I'm crying because I'm happy. If I lose, I'm be crying because I lost. But tears, probably.
What do you think's gonna happen? You think you're gonna be able to take your opponent?
I do. I think that he's overlooking me. I think he thinks I'm an old ass man, and this is one good thing about fighting this dude. I got some video on him. I have a lot of video to watch on him. I have over 40 fights, but there's not a lot of video of it. You know what I'm saying? And that bums me out because it's hard to fine tune yourself as a fighter if you can't look back and see something. Oh, that's what I'm. And my mind with technology, I don't think about it like this. I could put my camera on me while I'm training and fine tune it like that, but I don't think about this shit because I'm already in that moment trying to just do what needs to be done in that moment. And I did myself a disservice by not recording myself, and it is what it is though.
But there's an advantage to what you do as well because, like, I can't put my phone down a lot of the time because I'm so focused on trying to become successful on here. So it just hijacks your brain a lot of the time. You can't be in the present moment. That's what I've had to work on a lot.
Listen, when I go to work, my phone ringer's on. Even if spam comes through, I gotta deal with it because I'm at work. As soon as I get off work, ringer off, get down. I love the do not disturb option. It's a big.
Hell yeah, bro. That's awesome. How old's your opponent? Mitchell's, right?
Aaron Mitchell, I believe he's in his early 30s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. Listen, I know that he's tall. He's got reach. He's got height. But when he's on his back, that don't matter really too much.
You'd be surprised how many fighters I've interviewed. Well, maybe you're not, but a lot of fighters I've interviewed talk about getting into street fights and figuring out they love it through doing all that. A lot of them are trying to scrap outside of the cage.
Uh, I, I, I've been in my fair share of trouble with the law, and it's, it's, it's not fun. That's a long way. So I just try to stay out of trouble in the streets now. I do not desire to get in no street fight.
That's the best way to do it, to be honest. You don't want to have to be getting put in cuffs, especially at your age. You're not that old, but 40 years old, I don't want to be being put in cuffs and back at the squad car again and all that shit. So,
Yeah, you get it. This is the way I look at it. Right now, on the 25th, I'm getting paid for therapy. Whereas if I get in a street fight, I gotta pay the court system. I gotta pay my lawyer. I pay the fines, everything that comes along with it. I gotta spend time in jail. I can't do that no more.
mm-mm. No, you shouldn't want to either.
No, and I've never wanted to, but at the same time, it might have felt like my normal for a while.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to, but unfortunately, when we're young, we make these dumb decisions and find ourselves in situations we really shouldn't be in. And
Well, I've always been a reactive person, and I'm still reactive in a lot of ways. My knee jerk reaction is intense. I'm an intense individual. If I'm talking about something I love, my passion for that love, that thing that we're talking about sometimes gets misconstrued as a aggression towards an individual. It's never that. It's just the way that I am. I can't separate myself from things I love. You know, and if I do, I just cut myself off from it, or I'm not cut. There's no in between. There's no lukewarm.
you seem pretty calm to me. I mean, like not necessarily like you look like you have a lot of energy to me, but you don't look like it's an aggressive energy. You're just hyped up.
I've learned to control it a lot better. When I was younger, it was a little bit more muted, shall I say?
That's funny. All right, bro. It was
Listen,
nice talking to you.
yes, I'm glad we got to do this. I look forward to the 25th, and it's good to put a face with a name.
Hell yeah, you too.
I,
I
I
didn't
wish
really
you
know
all
what
the
you look
best.
like or nothing.
What's that?
I said I didn't know what you look like or nothing. I wasn't checking people's Facebook pages out or nothing. I was just like, all right, here's my shit. Come on.
That's what's up, dude. Listen, I wish you all the best, and we're gonna see what happens on the 25th, and no matter what, this ain't my last fight. You know what I mean? It's just the one I got ahead of me.
Yeah, failure is just another opportunity to keep going.
Absolutely.
All right, bro. It's
All
good
right, bro.
talking to you.
Yep. You have a good day.
You too.